There has been unrest in our country, Kenya, following citizens led by Gen Z storming the streets to protest about overtaxation. President William Ruto had to come forward to promise to cut on budgetary expenses across all branches of the government, to recoup 341 billion Kenya shillings that was to be raised through taxation policies in the Finance Bill 2024. In an interview, Mtukufu Rais promised to cut on unessential expenses in his office, as well as enforce budgetary cuts on the judiciary, parliament, executive and counties. One of the allocations that most Kenyans saw unfit was the amount of money allocated to the offices of First Lady Rachel Ruto and that of the Second Lady Dorcas Gachagua. As it stands, the government will save 1.2 billion Kenya shillings for dropping budgetary allocations to the two offices, which Kenyans have termed as unconstitutional. In the 2024-2025 budget, Rachel pocketed 696 million Kenya shillings, which is 100 million Kenya shillings more than the previous financial year, while Dorcas Gachagua's office received 557 million Kenya shillings, a reduction of 160 million Kenya shillings from the 2023-2024 budget. In February 2023, another unconstitutional spousal office was unveiled, the office of the spouse of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, held by Tessie Mudavadi, the spouse of Musalia Mudavadi. The office caused an uproar from the public, with Mudavadi stating that the office is not funded by the taxpayers. Mudavadi said in a statement, "I want to state very clearly that there is no public expenditure that occurred in the conversation around Tessie Musalia. Activities of this nature are not government activities. Mrs. Musalia has been helping people through charity, whether he was in or out of government." In his newly outlined austerity measures, Ruto also hinted at budget cuts in the executive, which received a large amount of allocations. State House was allocated 9.4 billion Kenya shillings, followed by the Office of the President, which received 5 billion Kenya shillings. Office of the Deputy President received 4.9 billion Kenya shillings, and the Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary 1.1 billion Kenya shillings. The 9.4 billion Kenya shillings allocated to the State House is inclusive of the 696 million Kenya shillings allocated to the First Lady. The funds are aimed at fulfilling constitutional mandates, facilitating strategic initiatives under the Office of the First Lady, policy advisory, improvement of state houses and state lodges, and administration of benefits for retired presidents, vice presidents, and other designated state offices. Ruto said that the judiciary and parliament, which received 24.6 billion Kenya shillings and 44.6 billion Kenya shillings respectively, will also face budget cuts. It's unclear how much will be reduced from these institutions. Another avenue that the president committed to deal with was the ballooning wage bill by reducing salaries. He offered to lead the charge by having a reduction of his salary, and the same to be done across the government. The president takes home 1.4 million Kenya shillings gross salary, Deputy President 1.2 million Kenya shillings, and the Prime CS 990,000 Kenya shillings. MPs and senators take home 739,600 Kenya shillings, while governors' pay amount to 990,000 Kenya shillings. While addressing the nation on Friday, July 5th, President William Ruto promised to make more reductions in the government expenditure. Here are the promises that he made. Civil servants who have attained the age of 60 to proceed on retirement. All non-essential travels by state officers suspended. No state officer or public servant should participate in Harambee going forward. A number of advisors in the public sector will be reduced by 50% immediately. He also announced a forensic audit on the country's debt, which sits at more than 70% of gross domestic product, and said he will announce changes to the government soon. One of the grievances fronted by the Gen Zs included a reduction of MP salaries to 200,000 Kenya shillings as part of the austerity measures. This means that the expenditure for MPs will reduce from 258 million Kenya shillings to 69 million Kenya shillings monthly. Another avenue that has been exposed, where funds are being misused, is the money allocated to the ETC of government vehicles. Nairobi County Senator Edwin Sifuna, who was speaking on the floor of the House, revealed that, as a deputy minority leader, he has been allocated a government vehicle with money amounting to 377,000 shillings on the electronic toll collection card for expressway use. Sifuna said, "Mr. Speaker, I want to give a personal secret and you'll forgive me if I am giving out the House secrets. When I became the deputy minority leader, I was allocated a government vehicle. On the first day I used that vehicle to go home, I passed through expressway and I was shocked at the amount that was in the ETC. I honestly do not need all that money. Even if I ran up and down the expressway for a year, I will not exhaust 377,000 Kenya shillings. We need to look at our budgets in this house and see where we can make major concessions and cuts for the public to feel that we are lessening the burden and not increasing. At least this is a leader who has the best interest of Kenyans at heart. Despite appearing to see to the people's will, President Ruto warned of dire consequences that the country will face for not passing the finance bill, which includes borrowing 1 trillion to keep the government operational. According to Ruto, the expenditure in the said arms of government should reflect the country's state of affairs. But the biggest concern is, how will leaders be comfortable with spending so much money to live in luxury, then ask citizens to tighten their belts and sacrifice to pay extra taxes? Does it really make sense? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get new videos as soon as I upload. See you on the next one.